Every year, deep-sea fishermen venture into the vast, dark depths of the ocean, searching for their next big catch. But what they often pull up isn't always what they bargained for. The ocean might seem like a calm place, filled with pretty fish and shimmering waters, but underneath it all, it's a different story. The deep sea is home to some of the most terrifying creatures on the planet. Beasts that look like they've come straight out of a nightmare. Even worse, we've only explored 5% of the ocean. That means the scary sea creatures on this list are less than 5% of what's out there. Can you imagine what other ocean animals might be lurking in the deep sea? Well, we know we can't put every single one on this list, but these 15 terrifying sea creatures are definitely some of the most feared by deep sea fishermen. Let's start off with number 15, Anglerfish. This fish is the worst nightmare of any fisherman who knows the depths of the ocean. The anglerfish, aka the sea devil, is the ultimate deep-sea predator. With its massive, gaping mouth and sharp, needle-like teeth, it doesn't just catch prey, it devours it whole. But that's not even the worst part. Anglerfish lure their victims in with a bioluminescent fishing rod on their heads. The glowing lure might look pretty from a distance, but it's just the fish's twisted trick to get other creatures close enough for an easy meal. And when they strike, they're not picky. If the fish is too big to swallow whole, they'll tear into it with those nasty fangs. Imagine swimming near one of these guys, thinking you're safe, only to get sucked into their horrifying jaws. It's safe to say most deep-sea fishermen don't want to get caught anywhere near one of these creatures. Number 14, sheepshead fish. Well, first, this thing doesn't even look like a fish. We mean, just look at those big, creepy, human-like teeth. If you didn't know better, you'd think the sheep's head was a product of some mad scientist's lab experiment gone wrong. The rows of molars and incisors make this fish look like it belongs in a horror movie, not the ocean. In fact, its mouth is so unsettling, you might wonder if it's been cursed or mutated by toxic waste. But as creepy as its teeth are, there's a very practical reason behind them. Sheepshead are shellfish specialists, and those terrifying chompers are perfectly designed for crushing the hard shells of crabs, clams, and other armored prey. These human teeth allow the sheepshead to feast on creatures that most other fish can't touch. So, while you probably won't be heading anywhere near that mouth anytime soon, it's all in the name of survival in the harsh underwater world. Would you like to keep one as a pet? Number 13, Australian Box Jellyfish. The Australian box jellyfish is a true nightmare for anyone who ventures into the waters of northern Australia and Southeast Asia. Known for being one of the most dangerous creatures in the ocean, this jellyfish can deliver a sting that's not only excruciating, but potentially fatal. Its transparent bell can grow up to 12 inches across, with tentacles stretching as long as 10 feet. Fishermen who work in these waters are particularly cautious, as accidental encounters can lead to paralysis, heart failure, or even death if not treated immediately. The jellyfish's venom attacks the nervous system, causing intense pain and often leaving victims with lasting injuries. The sheer size and stealth of the box jellyfish make it incredibly difficult to spot before it strikes, making it a constant threat to anyone working or swimming in its territory. For many, it's a creature that's best left unseen and definitely avoided at all costs. Now let's move to number 12, Snaggle Tooth. What makes this sea creature scary? Well, the Snaggle Tooth fish certainly lives up to its name. With its sharp, jagged teeth and soulless black eyes, it looks like something out of a horror movie. But what really makes it creepy is its bioluminescent chin, a glowing lure it uses to attract unsuspecting prey. This kind of adaptation is common in deep-sea creatures, but it's still unnerving. The glow might seem harmless at first, but when the fish opens its mouth to reveal those pin-like teeth, it's clear that this predator is far from friendly. Fishermen who work in the deep sea know better than to mess with these creatures. They're not just creepy, they're dangerous. This fish is certainly not one you'd want to encounter while swimming in the ocean. We mean, just look at those teeth. It is much more like a monster, rather than a sea creature. Number 11. Colossal Squid. While giant squids might sound like something out of a monster movie, they're very real, and still pretty terrifying. These deep-sea giants can grow up to 45 feet long, with eyes bigger than a human's head. And, weighing in at over a ton, they're far from delicate. But what really sets them apart is their fearlessness. Giant squids aren't afraid to take on much larger creatures. In fact, colossal squids have been known to battle sperm whales, using their massive tentacles to fight off even the biggest predators. It's hard to imagine an animal that sees a giant whale as its next meal, but that's the reality with these terrifying creatures. While the odds of running into one are slim, the thought of an animal so powerful and aggressive is enough to make anyone think twice before diving into the deep blue. Some mysteries are pretty best left undiscovered. Number 10. Stargazer. The fact that the Stargazer looks a little plump and unassuming might make it seem less menacing than its sleeker, more eel-like cousins. But don't be fooled by its innocent, bland appearance. This fish is far from cuddly. In fact, its nondescript look is a perfect adaptation for its environment. The Stargazer has mastered the art of camouflage, blending seamlessly with the sand on the ocean floor. It spends its time lying in wait, patiently biding its time until an unsuspecting fish swims too close. Then, with a sudden lunge, it opens its massive mouth and strikes. What's even more terrifying? Some stargazers have the ability to deliver mild electric shocks to stun their prey. To top it off, many species have venomous spines along their bodies that can further incapacitate their meal. So, while it may not look like much at first glance, this underwater predator is a ruthless ambush artist, making it a true danger of the deep sea. Number 9. Stonefish. These bottom-dwelling fish are not just ugly, they're incredibly dangerous. Stonefish, found lurking among coastal reefs in the Indian and Pacific Oceans, have evolved to blend in perfectly with their surroundings. Their camouflage makes them almost invisible to anyone who isn't paying close attention. What makes them terrifying is their venomous dorsal spines. When stepped on, these spines release a potent venom that causes excruciating pain, intense swelling, and even tissue damage. Though most encounters result in mild symptoms requiring a short hospital stay, some can be fatal. Each year, dozens of people in Australia are stung by stonefish, and the consequences can be severe. In extreme cases, the venom can cause respiratory failure, heart complications, or even death. In 2018, a tragic incident occurred when an 11-year-old boy died from pulmonary edema after being stung. Despite their harmless appearance, these creatures are a serious threat to anyone who accidentally crosses their path. Number 8. Ghost shark. Ghost sharks, with their eerie, zombified appearance, are the stuff of nightmares. Imagine a tuna that somehow got caught in the net of the afterlife, risen with an unsettling, ghostly appearance. These creatures dwell in the darkest parts of the ocean, where light never penetrates. Their unnerving, almost skeletal form, paired with their large, haunting eyes, adds to their mystery. But what really makes them terrifying is their specialized adaptation for survival in this hostile environment. Instead of relying on sight, ghost sharks use sensory organs that resemble veins, detecting even the slightest movement in the water. This means if you're diving into the deep, you'll likely never see them coming. Ghost sharks can sense you long before you detect their presence, making them the perfect predators of the abyss. With their odd looks and deadly abilities, ghost sharks epitomize the horrors of the deep sea that most will never experience firsthand. Number 7. Parara. The Parara, also known as the vampire fish, is one of the most feared creatures lurking in the remote waters of the Amazon basin. This apex predator regularly hunts prey larger than itself, using its powerful razor-sharp fangs to make quick work of anything unfortunate enough to cross its path. With long teeth that can reach up to 6 inches, the Parara's bite is as fearsome as its appearance. These teeth are so large that the Parara has to sheath them into special pockets in its skull when it closes its mouth, like a true vampire hiding its fangs. But what really sets the Parara apart is its ability to thrive in fast-moving waters, hunting fish in both calm streams and turbulent rivers. With their aggressive nature, strong predatory instincts, and terrifying appearance, these vampire fish have earned their place at the top of the food chain. If you're fishing in their territory, you'd better watch your back. It's the stuff of nightmares. Number 6. Dubois Sea Snake. The Dubois Sea Snake, also known as the reef shallows snake, is an oceanic nightmare for anyone who dares to swim in its territory. Found in the waters of Australia, Papua New Guinea, and New Caledonia, this snake is one of the most venomous creatures in the world, ranking among the top 3 most toxic snakes overall. Though its bite may seem mild, the venom it delivers is nothing short of terrifying. A sting from this deadly predator can lead to nausea, dizziness, convulsions, and in extreme cases, collapse and death. What's more disturbing is the snake's ability to stay submerged for long periods, anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours, while hunting for fish. With a venomous bite and a deadly reputation, the Dubois Sea Snake is a true danger lurking just beneath the surface of the waters, ready to strike without warning. Number 5. Flying Spaghetti Monster. The deeper you dive into the ocean, the stranger and more terrifying the creatures become. Enter the so-called Flying Spaghetti Monster, a bizarre and unsettling creature that looks like a tangled mass of gooey plastic bags wrapped in aggressive tentacles. A distant cousin of jellyfish and corals, this creature's appearance alone is enough to send shivers down your spine. But it's the sheer number and ferocity of its tentacles that make it truly frightening. These tentacles are not only numerous but highly toxic, capable of delivering painful stings to anyone unlucky enough to come into contact with them. Thankfully, the flying spaghetti monster prefers to stay deep in the ocean, usually around 3,000 feet below sea level, where it poses little threat to humans. However, its strange appearance and dangerous adaptations make it a creature you definitely wouldn't want to encounter if you ever find yourself that deep in the ocean. Now let's move to number 4, red lionfish. The red lionfish is a beauty, no doubt. With its striking red and white stripes, dramatic fan-like fins, and spiky dorsal spines, it's a showstopper. But don't get too close. Those spines, they're venomous. A sting can cause excruciating pain, nausea, and even trouble breathing. While death is rare, the discomfort is enough to make you think twice about swimming near one. Originally from the South Pacific and Indian Oceans, the red lionfish has found its way into the Caribbean and along the U.S. southeastern coast, where it's wreaking havoc. It has no natural predators, and with the ability to reproduce year-round, it's an unstoppable force. A single female can produce 2 million eggs annually. In Florida, efforts are underway to eat the problem away, with chefs and divers teaming up to promote lionfish as a local delicacy to help reduce their numbers. Number 3. Slender Snipe Eel. The fictional snipe from Pixar's Up is cute. This snipe eel, on the other hand, will haunt your nightmares. Resembling a piece of ribbon with a temper, the slender snipe eel can grow several feet long while weighing less than half a pound. Its unnerving beak-like mouth looks more fitting for a bird than a sea creature, and scientists are still scratching their heads about how it uses that mouth to survive. Despite its strange, almost comical appearance, the snipe eel is an effective predator, lurking in the dark, deep waters of the ocean. While it's not likely to attack humans, its weird, snake-like body and bizarre feeding habits make it one of the more unsettling creatures of the deep. And with its unusual adaptations, the slender snipe eel's ability to thrive in the ocean's harshest environments makes it a true master of the deep-sea underworld. Number 2. Fangtooth fish. While fishermen aren't typically at risk from the fangtooth fish, its appearance alone is enough to make anyone uneasy. Living in the dark depths of the ocean, thousands of feet below the surface, this fish has developed some truly unsettling traits, Its teeth, massive, sharp, and jagged, are the largest of any marine animal relative to its size. These intimidating fangs don't even fit neatly in its mouth, leaving it with a permanent, creepy grin that's far from friendly. The Fangtooth might not be hunting humans, but its grotesque appearance is enough to haunt the minds of anyone who encounters it. Thankfully, most fishermen are only familiar with it through reports and rare sightings, as the Fangtooth prefers to stay far out of sight in the pitch-black abyss. But even knowing it's out there, lurking in the deep, is enough to send a shiver down your spine. Number 1. Goblin Shark. Everything about the goblin shark screams insanity. With its long, awkward nose that makes it look like a hellish unicorn, and its pale, pinkish skin that seems like it's been stripped away, it's no wonder people once believed sea monsters roamed the oceans. But wait, it gets worse. This shark is the largest on our list by far. For years, scientists thought it maxed out at around 13 feet, until 2000, when a monstrous female, over 20 feet long, was pulled up in the Gulf of Mexico. Now no one really knows how big these things can get. Goblin sharks aren't speed demons. They don't chase down their prey. Instead, they lurk quietly in the depths, using their elongated snout to detect the faintest electrical waves emitted by nearby fish. When a potential meal gets close enough, the shark's jaws snap forward with lightning speed, capturing its prey in a gruesome automatic strike. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.